Hey guys, it's Dr. Bozeman with Texas Healthcare, and as you know, we're all big Cowboy fans here. And this weekend's been a really bad weekend for us. Although we won, but it's a win-loss, if you would. Dak injured his ankle, and I've had a lot of people ask, what does this injury look like? So basically what this is it's an eversion injury, meaning that his foot and the lower leg was bent out beyond its physical abilities. So you can see here, he's sitting here, he's got his foot out, and this is actually after he tried to reduce it. I assume he thought it was dislocated and he hit it on the ground. It was a lot worse, but it's still bad. Here, this is a normal ankle. This medial malleolus, this is the bone that you would feel on the inside of your ankle. This is the bone, the prominence that you feel on the outside of your ankle, and this is the talus. Well, these two, this is the fibula and this is the tibia. They come down, they form what we refer to as a mortise joint. So you see how it fits over the top of that talus. This is the talar dome here. Think of an adjustable wrench. If you put that on a bolt, you can adjust down, and it's supposed to hold that, and this gives you a little bit of support. Most of the weight bearing is through the tibia, and then the fibula acts as a non-weight bearing bone, but it has a lot of ligament structures and support to it. So a force comes in this way and it bends this bone beyond this joint, and you end up breaking here. This goes out. This is going to bend inward like this. You dislocate this joint. Most likely fracture this medial malleolus because those ligaments are strong, and it's going to pull that bone apart. And you'll get something that's similar to this. This isn't Dak's ankle, obviously, but it's a good representation of the potential injury that was sustained. So you have the fracture here, and we know that he had a compound fracture, so it actually went through the skin. It's not what you want to happen. But you have this dislocation, and most likely, you say similar here, if we go in a little bit bigger with this picture, just as a guide to what it looks like. Fracture, everything's bent the wrong direction. That joint is really disrupted. So now, what they're going to do, they'll treat Dak. They'll have some of the best orthopedic surgeons in there dealing with that, and they have to address the open fracture with the wound. But they're going to end up doing surgery, and this is going to require what we refer to as an open reduction internal fixation. And then you have screws, you have plates, and these are designed to hold that bone in place so it can heal. And it's going to take some time to heal. There's a lot of other complications that can come in effect, because when you break something to this magnitude, you have the soft tissue injuries, you have the ligamentous injuries, you have all of this that comes into your concern, whether is there going to be instability. Well, one of the big things you got to look for is this syndesmosis. And if I drop this back down here, you notice this joint right here. This is the syndesmosis joint. There's a sheath of ligament and fibrous connection there that keeps those together, and that creates the stability in there. You disrupt all of that, then most likely what's going to end up happening is they'll have to put a screw that transverses through here to hold that mortise joint together. And even once all that heals, that screw is going to have to come out eventually, because that's a natural motion area, and the screw is a fixation screw, and they have a tendency to break the longer you keep them in, and probably after a year. And if they use bone stimulators and all that wonderful stuff they have for professionals like that, then they can probably speed up the healing, but the natural healing process is still going to take place. It's a terrible injury. We're all really heartbroken over it. You know, he's a huge competitor, and you can see the look on his face. I know it hurts, but I assure you that a lot of those tears are most likely just because of the fact that he wasn't going to be able to play. And I don't think he's missed a snap since he started, so that's something else that true professionals look at, is their ability to be on the field for their team. So that's it. It's a bad injury to his ankle. Hopefully there's no secondary issues or tertiary issues. And, you know, we think of a fracture as just a fracture, but with long bone fractures and surgery, there's always things that can happen. But I know that Dak's surrounded by the best, and they'll take good care of him. And until then, we wish him the best.